Can memories be eaten? What if a memory could move from one creature to another? Not through teaching, not through imitation, I mean literally transferred. Maybe even eaten. That sounds like the kind of nonsense you find scribbled on a lab wall after too much coffee. But for a while, real scientists chased exactly that question. Our stars today are Planarian flatworms, tiny, strange little animals with simple brains, simple nervous systems, and one ridiculous superpower. Cut one in half and the pieces can regrow into whole worms. In the 1950s and 60s, psychologist James McConnell looked at these worms and asked a serious question hiding inside a horror movie. If memory lives in the brain, what happens when the body regrows? First came the basic training. McConnell exposed worms to bright light and electric shock over and over again. Classic conditioning, tiny worm Pavlov. Eventually, he claimed the worms scrunched up when the light flashed, even before the shock. Already I'm suspicious, but I'm listening. Because if the worms really learned, then the next question gets wild. McConnell cut trained worms apart and let them regenerate. Heads grew tails, tails grew heads, and according to him, both seemed to retain the learned response. Now we've left normal science class and entered basement lab territory. If true, that would suggest memory wasn't stored only in the brain. Maybe some trace of experience was spread through the body. That is a huge claim, not a small, weird worms. Claim that is a rewrite the textbook carefully and maybe wash your hands claim. Then McConnell went further. He pured trained worms and fed them to untrained worms. Yes, worm smoothies, and he claimed the cannibal worms learned faster, almost like they had eaten the memory. This is the part where the grant committee starts sweating. McConnell thought the physical trace of memory, the engram, might be chemical, possibly stored in RNA, and honestly, that part is not stupid on its face. DNA and RNA carry biological information. So asking whether experience leaves molecular marks is not crazy. The worm buffet is crazy. The question underneath it is not. But then came the circus. McConnell became famous. He joked about piano lesson pills and Professor Burgers. He appeared on TV. He published through the Worm Runner's Digest, which was part science journal, part satire machine, part glorious chaos. And this is where science starts getting contaminated by fame. Because once the story becomes too good, everybody wants the magic to be real. But science does not care how cool your headline is. Replication is the bouncer at the door. Cool idea or not, you still have to get past it. And McConnell's work had a replication problem. Some labs claimed success, others failed. By the 1970s, the whole thing faded. It was not cleanly destroyed in one dramatic knockout. It just stopped convincing enough people. Then decades later, Sam Gershman's lab at Harvard tried to reopen the case. They expected the memory transfer claim to be the dodgy part, but the twist was worse. They could not even get the Planarians to reliably learn the basic light shock behavior in the first place. That is brutal. They went looking for edible memories and found worms that had apparently dropped out of school. So is the whole thing dead? Not quite. Here's the twist. The clown car may have been pointing at a real road. Modern experiments in sea slugs and E. elegans suggest that learned responses may sometimes involve transferable biological signals, not memories like eating someone's piano lessons. Not instant knowledge burgers, but molecular traces connected to experience? Maybe. And that is the real Reaction Lab takeaway. McConnell may have had the wrong worm, the wrong methods, too much showmanship, or all three, but he poked at a question that still matters. What is a memory made of? Is it only wiring between neurons, or can experience leave chemical marks that travel through the body, maybe even between bodies? So no, memories probably are not edible like a snack, but biology is weird, and sometimes the mad-looking question is only ridiculous because we are not ready to ask it properly yet.